In today's video, we are going to be talking about why most TikTok shop creators fail. So, who am I? My name is Sydney. I've been able to make $200,000 profit in a single month through TikTok shop as an affiliate creator. I didn't have any ads running in the background. All of this was organic, all of this was evergreen content. And the funny thing is, even after months after, the video kept going viral. And it's because of this one key thing that I'm going to talk about based off of the different concerns that I've come across from my consulting calls. This is probably one of the most valuable videos that I'm ever going to make. So this is not going to be catered to, I don't know, anybody that's just trying to make money on the internet. This is going to be some pure, hard, tactical advice on how to not get stuck in that trap of having to do bottom of funnel content where you're essentially shilling videos to customers that are already ready to buy. But the problem is, not every single person that sees that video is always ready to buy. Even though that TikTok obviously serves your content to your specific viewer base, assuming that TikTok has enough data to get a clue, like, okay, what type of content is this account posting? But another thing is, there's other creators out there that are brute forcing TikTok content, posting 15, 20 videos a day that they can't even travel. Or essentially, sometimes they post TikTok videos where the shelf life is so little, right? It stops going viral after a week, 2 weeks, a month, that now they're trying to haggle and struggle to find something again that can make them profit for the next month. So, in today's video, I'm going to teach you guys the only thing that you need to know to win on TikTok shop. And this does not matter if you have a viral winning product. This does not matter if using the newest and best content style that's out there, that's trending. You're not limited to trends. I'm going to teach you how to create evergreen content where essentially you're making enough cash flow where you can take vacations like this. Or for example, as you guys are seeing right now, I made $33,000 profit in a single week while I was traveling. Now, the reality is, if you guys were there, if you know, you know, I was actually doing a lot of traveling during this month, which is the exact same month that I hit my $200,000 profit in a single month. So, who am I? My name is Sydney. What I've been able to do is, just like as I said, I've been able to make $200,000 profit in a single month through TikTok shop as an affiliate creator. I didn't get any extra bonuses, giveaways, campaign incentives, rewards. I didn't have any ads running in the background. All of this was organic. All of this was evergreen content. And the funny thing is, even after months after, the video kept going viral. And it's because of this one key thing that I'm going to talk about. So I'm just going to skip the other stuff. If you guys want to know how I exactly made $33,000 profit in a week, I already made a video on that. It was my previous video. But today I want to introduce exactly what is transformation selling. Essentially, what transformation selling is you want to figure out a person's emotional desire. So for example, if you have a product which has the ingredient colostrum, you're not selling this to people to reduce their bloating. That's the benefit by taking colostrum. What you're essentially trying to do is, how can I figure out what this person's emotional desire is, right? How can I meet them, right? Like I remember a really good copywriter once told me this. Copywriting is essentially, how can you meet with the prospect, the client, the customer, right? How can you write copy in a way where you can meet them? And that's essentially what transformation selling is like, how can you meet this person with their emotional desire, right? This woman doesn't care that she's bloating. She's not buying that colostrum powder drink because she wants to make her pooch disappear. She wants this product because she wants to feel confident again if she stands in front of a mirror, right? She wants to feel confident again when she's out in public with her date. She wants to feel confident and be so confident that her own partner can proudly say, "This is my girlfriend. This is my wife," right? She wants her partner to show her off. She wants to be confident again. to fit in that dress. That's essentially the core of transformation selling. What can you do to help give that emotional desire that this person is looking for? Now, chances are the way how TikTok works as a platform is it's a discovery platform. It's not like Google, where if you want to look something up, you know what you want to look up. Where if it's TikTok Shop versus Amazon, you go on Amazon because you already know what you want to look up. So, for example, if I ran out of toilet paper, well, I just need more toilet paper. So then I go on Amazon, I type up toilet paper, and like whatever is on the top based off of like the SEO, the rankings, whatever, then, Amazon provides me like a plethora of toilet paper. And then I get to choose, okay, which one of these have the best reviews, which one has, the best feedback, whatever. You get the idea, right? Now, why TikTok Shop is different, the fact that it's paired with TikTok, is when people use TikTok as a platform, right? They're going on the app for entertainment. They're not going on the app because they have an issue. Now, personally, I know like as of lately, if I want to look up a restaurant, what I do now is actually use TikTok as a search engine. But usually, with the normies, that's not what they do, right? They go on TikTok for entertainment after like a long day at work. So essentially, by the time they see your TikTok Shop video on their feed, this person can be anywhere on what I call the awareness stages. It's not my actual model. I think the actual guy's name is Schwartz. Schwartz model of customer awareness, whatever. But essentially, you have the unaware people where they don't even know that they have a problem. They don't know that they have the desire, right? Next, now they're aware with their problem, right? But the problem is they don't know how to fix this problem. So then if you actually provide a solution to their problem, now they're solution aware. Okay, so now that I know that my fupa or my big belly makes me insecure, it's a problem and I want to get rid of it. How can I get rid of it? Oh, you need colostrum. Okay, so to help with my gut health, maybe I need colostrum or psyllium husk or some probiotics, doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I know these three ingredients help with my bloating, which is what's making my stomach or my belly or my fupa, whatever, look massive, right? So what can I do? Now you bring them to the product awareness. Oh, okay, so now there's these products with these ingredients, right? And then now you try to help them decide what makes this product better than the rest. Now, this is essentially what helped me kind of make evergreen content to the point where I didn't have to upload every single day. I think it's good to upload every single day because it teaches you about consistency. And that's essentially what success is, right? It's just chipping away at something where it gets to a point where you've put in a relatively decent amount of reps to your situation, your skill level, your background, etc. that, success or yeah, like your consistency meets luck, right? And then that's what success is essentially. But yeah, anyways, that's why like when it comes to telling people like you're gonna make X amount in like how many days and they're a complete beginner, I think it's kind of a weird topic because given how, like, for example, when I got into TikTok, this is a side tangent, I'll try to wrap it up. But when I got into TikTok, I wasn't a complete beginner. I already had like experience with YouTube. So making the content wasn't hard. But anyways, yeah, going back to evergreen content, the way how the actual content becomes evergreen, where it keeps going viral even after months, is when once you've mastered what transformation selling is, and then you pair it with what I like to call your unfair advantage, right? So, me personally, I'm Asian. I look really young, and I also have clear skin. So, in the event where you do try to copy people, right? Because I actually like the way how I found this particular product that took me to literally hundreds and thousands of dollars. I essentially just copied somebody else, but rather than just copying everything one to one, I leaned onto my unfair advantages and paired that with the right type of storytelling, right? We're using open loops, chain loops, etc., right? Where you like essentially what an open loop is like you want to introduce an idea where you're kind of like, teasing the viewer where they want to know more, but then instead of just closing the loop, you slightly close it enough, like just enough before you introduce another idea. So there's this framework that one of my friends, crazy script writer, copywriter, one of the world class YouTube script writers for business YouTubers, he has this awesome framework that essentially breaks it down really simply. It's called the PACE framework. I'll probably make a video on that in the future. But essentially, that paired with my MAP framework, which is intentionally designed for figuring out what is the emotional desire, the emotional transformation that this person wants, plus your unfair advantages. Again, some people have it, right? It just really takes a lot of self-awareness. Like, what are the key traits about me that makes me unique? For example, if you're a relatively tall dude or you have a lean physique, your unfair advantage is if you want to promote like gym related products, you will have an easier time selling it because it's called the character model fit. Like, you fit the character, you play the character, right? So it doesn't take a lot of, lack of a better word, finessing to try to convince people to get that product. Knowing your unfair advantages by fitting the role, and then also using the MAP framework, which is made to best understand what is the emotional transformation that this person needs, and then guiding that viewer throughout a video, right? Essentially, what a or what a TikTok shop video is like a video sales letter. That's what it is, right? You want to take this person that's probably not aware of their issue, you want to tell them what that issue is, you want to give them a solution to what that issue is, and then you want to provide a product to what that solution is, and then you want to essentially, towards the end, you want to guide them in a certain way on the way how you say your words, that they're the ones making the decision. You're not telling them to buy, you're making them decide that based off all of the facts and the info that you have in the video, now decide, right? And if you do that really well, then it's a no-brainer to get the product from your video, right? And you can do that from things like scarcity, urgency, FOMO, right? Once you get them to a point where now they have to make that decision, time's ticking. You need to decide now. So like, are you going to keep waiting and keep having this awareness at the back of your mind that you actually hate your body and you don't want to go outside and you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror because you have this big fupa, this big belly? Or you can take action now and actually buy this product and potentially help fix that problem, right? I have never sold colostrum or any of these other products, but that's just an example. And essentially, this chart that I have in front of the screen right now is basically what transformation selling is. I talked about it more in detail in my previous video. I don't want to make this video too long, but essentially, like, here's an example, right? Like, for a weird product like a Stanley cup, I mean, I'm pretty sure some people have seen how viral this has gotten, but the TikTok way I would sell this is how, oh, if you're hydrated, you can have a healthier body because now instead of drinking from plastic water bottles, you're essentially drinking from a durable stainless steel cup. So now you're not flooding your body with microplastics. Or if you're hydrating yourself, you also get clearer skin because now your body is well nourished, you're hydrated. And if you want to take it a step further in your storytelling, you can somehow make that weird connection with how having this Stanley water cup will keep you hydrated, that you won't have to experience these side effects of a dehydrated body, which is what's causing your relationship to collapse because now you're, picking small fights and you're bickering with your boyfriend. And it's like a no-brainer that your boyfriend gets you this water bottle because now you're not going to be in this constant disrupting mood, irritable, emotional, overreacting over small problems, like your boyfriend not asking, or like, for example, imagine you're going on a date with your boyfriend, but because he's really fine with whatever he eats, he gives you that option. Okay, where do you want to eat? If you're that girlfriend who's dehydrated and only drinks coffee and, thrives off sugar the entire day, your body is literally filled with processed crap, processed sugar, processed foods. You can't make good decisions. So then when your boyfriend asks you that question, which is really, he wants you to have the options because you're his girlfriend and he loves you. But because, like, you're not hydrated, you're like, what the hell? Why can't you make a decision? You're a guy. You're supposed to make these decisions then and there, right? So that's how you convince your boyfriend, this is why I need this stainless steel Stanley cup, because it prevents problems like this, because now my brain isn't foggy. Now I don't have poor decision-making skills because now my cells are energized. They have enough, or my cells are hydrated, so they're not struggling to function. You guys know that Snickers ad where like you're not you when you're hungry? So yeah, I was trying to make a joke right here. I kind of lost track of it, but it would make more sense on my other video. And then I gave other examples here too, like with the BHA toner. I gave examples in relationships and divorce. I don't know what it is. Something about relationships and connection with women just resonate stronger with people. And then for example, like okay, with these two examples, like just these two facts alone, literally you can swap out any brand, right? That's exactly why you want to lead with a transformation and sell the benefits of the product later on, because that's how you differentiate in a time where distribution is really important, right? I mean, nowadays with like tech and with China, like just mass producing literally anything on the fly, right? You can essentially copy and paste anyone's product, but where you stand above the competition is mastering how to make content, right? Because distribution is key right now, because not a lot of people have that skill. So, anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is essentially these are just commodities you can swap out. So that's why I have like the AirPods Max example here, where okay, yeah, like sure, maybe this part right here isn't really something that anybody else can copy, or like I don't know where I'm going with this train of thought, but the point that I'm trying to make is like, for example, AirPods Max, people buy this because of the status. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, like I'm pretty sure most people, like the average Joe Schmo that's just going to work, probably does not care if like their headphones connects to 5 devices at once, or how it has 20 hours battery life. I mean, if you're commuting to work, like let's say you live in New York, like in what time are you commuting for like 20 hours that it's really important that it lasts that long? Maybe if you're traveling or if you don't want to constantly charge your device, I get it. But usually, if poor people buy AirPod Maxes, it's not because of these. They're buying it because of the status that it gives, which is essentially like, oh my God, I have money. I can afford $500 AirPod Maxes, right? Like how essentially designer brands are marketed. But yeah, to wrap the video up, people buy emotions, not specs. It's like the saying, people buy with emotions and then justify with logic. So essentially, by leading with the transformation, making that thing extremely desirable, right? Because now you've brought to this person's awareness that they have like these random insecurities that they've never had, and then you follow it up with the benefit. That's how you lock these people in. That's why they buy. And that's exactly why, from personal experience with my content, that's the exact same reason why my video went stupid viral, because it connected with such a strong insecurity in women, and that's youthfulness, and that's to be desired, right? Because essentially, the younger you look when you're older, you're going to be more desired by people your age group. That's exactly why guys that are older love younger women, right? If you think about it from like a real logical scenario, if you're a dude in your 40s, if you date someone literally decades younger than you, if you were thinking of it from a dating perspective, like an actual life partner, realistically speaking, we know how differently like people in their 40s act compared to people in their 20s. Like if you're a 40-year-old and you're dating, like you actually want to marry this person for the rest of your life, you're essentially babysitting, right? Because this person hasn't lived their life enough to experience certain things to be mature, most importantly, right? I mean, like, I don't know, just go to like some random college campus and you'll get a clue. Like a lot of these people are like, they could be academically smart, but life skills, street skills, like they're kind of dumb and they're kind of unbearable because they're just annoying, or like they're just so immature, right? So, from a maybe long term partner standpoint, like the 40-year-old would probably want to date somebody their age. But the problem is, men, from what I've seen, like they like what they see, not what they hear. Women like what they hear, but not what they see. Like it's inverse, right? With men, imagine, yeah, sure, you have this partner that is probably compatible with you, but like men have their urges or whatever. And like if their partner looks really old, they're not gonna really be attracted to their partner anymore. I don't know. All this stuff is purely subjective. I don't really care what people think. I'm just going off of like what I see. But essentially that's the idea behind the video, right? It's like, these women that are old, they just want to feel desired again. They want to feel love again from their partners, or I don't know, like whoever they're trying to attract. Doesn't really matter. That's not my business. But the point is, lead with transformation and follow up with the benefits, because what happens is when you master that, it doesn't matter what content style is trending. Doesn't matter if there's a new conspiracy green screen content style that's working, or there's a new skit, or there's a new story that's working out, or there's a new educational angle, or I don't know, maybe some other new random trend where there's this one video that starts with this S word, bitch. If I see you in person, I just want to kiss you, or I just want to hug you. Like, that's how the video starts. But then, like, there's this thing called viewer fatigue where people have literally seen the exact same thing multiple times. They're like, oh, okay, this is the exact same copy and pasted script, right? That's the challenge that most people have, right? Essentially, they get to a certain month where they're making like 30, 50K a month, but because they got so used to copying, when a content style or trend dies off, they're like panicking. They're like quivering. They're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Everything's cooked. I'm not going to make money anymore. And by mastering transformation selling, proper storytelling, and leaning into your unfair advantages, doesn't matter what is trending, what product it is. If you know how to help these people get transformation that they want, doesn't really matter, right? And then on top of that, if you know how to leverage storytelling and your own unfair advantages, that's how you can create evergreen content. That's how you can create videos that literally make you money, that you don't have to be in the fucking trenches every single day making 15, 20 videos, making bottom of funnel content where people are not even aware that they have issues, right? Like, imagine some random person that just sees like some neurogum video. Like, people say, oh yeah, bottom of funnel content only targets people that are ready to buy. Not always. I'm never ready to buy neurogum, but I always see videos like that, right? So how do you explain that? So essentially, by mastering those three things that I talked about, that's how you can also make $33,000 profit in a week while traveling. Well, that's probably a little bit extreme, but you get the point. That's how you essentially get that freedom that money can provide. Before you guys even hear any of these tips and advice, I actually have a newsletter. So if you guys want to hear the best sauce in the game, make sure you guys go to the description down below, subscribe to my newsletter, and also follow me on Twitter because I post tweets after I make my newsletters. And if anybody is interested in some consulting, I also do that, but you have to DM me for that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.